friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, I'm here today to talk about some 5 points that I put together when we're talking about taking herbs to help our bodies heal from whatever it is. There are several things that we all need to consider. And the one I've got at the top of the list is do your own research. I just feel like I can't say it enough, and I don't say it in enough videos as far as I'm concerned, even though it's in the description box of every video. That is the first and foremost most important thing. And I do have a video out. If people just don't even know how to get started on doing their own research, I did put together actually a couple different videos over the years, but I'm going to link to the most recent one I did, I think a year ago or so, in the description box down below. That is to help get you started in any kind of research. It doesn't matter what it is. And once you know how to go about it, it gets easier to find the information that you're looking for. And one of the key points in that I do cover in the video is don't get all your information from one source. Make sure you're cross-referencing and using various different sources, be it different online sources and books that you may have, but don't even just stick to the natural-based web sources or books, but also look at medical sites. Obviously, taking everything into consideration and using your own common sense, and science-based sites as well. That's what I do whenever I'm putting information together, is I look at all three types of different sources and then compile the information from there, because I'm looking for things that, especially those things that agree with each other all the way across the board. The science actually backs up the claims made on this natural source here and also on this medical site over here. Medical sites you have to watch out for, because a lot of times they will say, oh, this is good for that, but then, they want to promote pharmaceuticals. So just a little common sense when you're doing that. And then, of course, the next thing, which goes right along with the research, is the point number 2 is you have to consider all your different personal factors to help you determine which herb or spice or whatever is going to be good for you or your family member or your friend. Because we're all going to be unique. We're going to all come from unique situations or have unique health issues that are going to have a lot of play into what herb's going to be best for us. Some of these things right at the top of the list would be if you're pregnant or nursing, or if you're a young child, or maybe if you're elderly. If you've got any underlying health conditions where this particular herb it might be good to help you with this particular problem, it might have a negative effect on some other issues you have. Licorice root is one of those you have to watch out for because of that. If you have specific allergies, obviously, if you're allergic to something, don't use it. And then, of course, even if you're unsure, then you're always starting small. You're using things in small amounts at a time, and you listen and pay attention to your body as you're taking it. If you start experiencing nausea, headaches, and so on, body fatigue, then you need to cut back on that, and then make sure, take a break from it for a time. When you start feeling better, you can try it again just once to see if those symptoms come back. Then you'll know for sure it's that thing. So again, common sense comes into play, and don't fall back on that Herxheimer reaction, because I've been kind of doing a little more serious look into that, because I feel that a lot of people use that as an excuse. So, well, the reason I don't feel good going with this natural thing is because it's just a Herxheimer reaction. Well, there's a lot about that people are not fully understanding. And in my personal opinion, it's very unsafe to assume every negative reaction you have when you're doing something natural, be it taking diatomaceous earth on a daily basis or taking some kind of herb on a daily basis. I think it's very dangerous to assume it's a Herxheimer reaction and then just keep doing it, keep taking it, because maybe that's not what it is. In fact, it's far more likely the reactions you're having are because you're overloading your body with something that is toxic to you. So pay attention to those things. And then point number 3, it's really important to understand there's no one herb that's a cure-all for everything and for everyone. Some people get themselves glommed onto a certain herb, like you'll hear about black seed. Black seed is great. Black cumin or Nigella sativa, lots of great health benefits. But That doesn't mean you start, just guzzling the oil and taking big old handfuls of black seed every single day, because in the long run, it can have detrimental effects if that's all you're depending on. And some people will have bad reactions anyway in smaller doses. So just because something's labeled as a cure-all doesn't mean it's for everyone or that you should be taking it in high doses. So some of you will remember the video I did that came out a few weeks ago on the benefits of nutmeg. I did mention that it is one of those spices you have to be a little more careful of. It's easier to overdo it with nutmeg than, let's say, cinnamon. But that doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater, because nutmeg has a lot of great benefits. And if you go read the testimonials under there, you'll see a lot of people sharing their own testimonies about nutmeg. And it's a spice that's been used for centuries. Though we shouldn't become totally dependent on it and try to use it to cure everything, we also got to come back to common sense. So would you rather have the synthetic pharmaceutical over here that's being handed out like candy, that has no safety study showing if there's going to be any kind of toxic effects by taking that with this medication and that medication and that medication as well? Or would you rather rely on something that's been used for thousands of years by people all over the world? I'm going to go with the natural choice. Obviously, moderation is important, and I don't care how safe any herb is listed as being, you still have to listen to your body and use moderation, because anything, I don't care what it is, can be toxic in high quantities. And one of the ones I bring up quite a bit is kale. I mean, there was this big, everybody was on this big kale thing some years back, but too much kale can be detrimental. Even drinking too much good, healthy water can be detrimental. It's not that you shouldn't do these things. It's not you shouldn't drink water or eat kale or have nutmeg or elderberries. It's learning moderation. And by the way, the water thing, it's very, very rare. It's very rare. Most of us need more water than we get anyway. So I wouldn't worry yourself too much about that. It's more that if all you're doing is drinking several gallons of water every day and not eating anything or replenishing your electrolytes at all, it can kill you. You're going to actually saturate your tissues, and you basically drown inside your own body. But very rare. In fact, I've only read of one actual incidence where that's happened to someone. Coming back to this point, just because something is working really good for someone else doesn't mean you should be taking it, or that it's going to work the same way with you. If you feel like it's going to be a safe one for you to try because you're not allergic to it and so on and so forth, then just try it. If it doesn't work, move on. There's a lot of other herbs out there. That's why I put these lists together for various ailments, like the one I just shot just before this one about natural relief for seasonal allergies. I give a whole list of different things that you can try, so you can pick and choose the ones you think are going to work best for you. And if you find they don't work, then move on to another one on the list. So that's why it's good to have a good variety of herbs, not just one herb for this thing and one herb for that thing and one herb for that thing, but a variety. That's important. So whether it be you're growing it or you're stocking up on some good organic herbs from some good sources, which I do, by the way, have a video out on where I get mine. I'll link to down below. At least the ones that I don't already grow, because I do grow quite a bit, but I can't grow everything. And I actually ended up already covering number 4, which was look at variety. So having the variety of herbs. So that was actually my 4th point. And I actually also covered the 5th point, which was everything is toxic in high quantities. So moderation is key. So those were the 5 main points I wanted to bring up when we're talking about taking natural remedies. And then I also wanted to throw out that originally this video was going to be about natural herbs versus synthetic pharmaceuticals. So I decided to kind of change the focus, but let me throw that in there again. Whereas, would you rather be dependent on synthetic pharmaceuticals, which is proven that even when taken as prescribed and properly prescribed to kill 168,000 Americans alone every single year, or this natural herb over here, be it elderberry, nutmeg, horseradish, whatever, all the other ones that people are claiming to be toxic, as long as you're practicing this in moderation, it's been proven to work for hundreds and thousands of years, Wouldn't you rather lean this way? But again, it comes back to the moderation. So just kind of weigh these out. Which makes more sense to you? Modern synthetic medications that are killing people for sure, and it's proven at high numbers, or the natural remedies that have been proven to work and also have many other benefits and very few side effects. Anyway, it really comes down to common sense. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Any thoughts, ideas you'd like to include, go ahead and put those in comments down below. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.